Welcome everyone to this distinguished platform of excellencies, journalists, queens, kings, ambassadors, presidents, members of parliament, journalists, guests. You are welcome. As we say here in Africa and Ghana, Akwaba. Thank you for joining us on this auspicious occasion, our press conference for Heritage and Reconquest. Thank you for being here today. We are honored with so many of you, and this is an historical occasion that will go down in history, in the history of Africa. It is our quest to obtain all of our stored artifacts that were stolen in such heinous times. So without further ado, I would like to present to you our honorable, our auspicious leader, Your Excellency, Dr. Louis Georges Tin. Let's everybody just receive him with a hand clap and receive our leader who is taking us to higher heights and deeper depths. Dr. Tin, I give you the floor.
Thank you very much, dear Minister. So I will speak in French and in English. Je parlerai en anglais et en français. So I would like to greet, first of all, the Vice Prime Minister, Queen Wilbecorn, the second Vice Prime Minister, Mr. Eugenson, the President of the Parliament, Mr. Melvin Brown, our Minister, of course, of the State Department, Minister of Historical Legacy, all the members of the Parliament, the ambassadors, the journalists, the brothers and sisters in the room. Today is a historical day. Indeed, if you remember, last year in October, we had a conference about heritage and reconquest. And today, it is of course the follow-up. Now it's about not restitution, but reconquest. And it's about organizing a class action. The principle is very simple, as we all know, very strength in numbers. So that's why we said we need to invite nations, kingdoms, and governments to join forces so that we can work together and reconquest what belongs to us. As you know, it is a matter of cultural integrity, of spiritual identity, of international justice, of economic development, and also political sovereignty. So that is why the State of the African Diaspora and the International Commission on Culture have worked together to organize all of this. And I was thinking, if we have 5 countries, that would be very good. If we have 10 countries, it will be very, very good. In fact, I have today the pleasure to tell you, we have 15 nations with us. So that's very important.
Thank you. Okay, we're happy to have the Federation of Aboriginal Nations of the Americas, the Director General, Nisu. Please help me with the pronunciation of your last name.
Wishwanag, no problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome. Let me greet everyone properly. With Wilson Natoma, Kanithan Park, Askaka Squampson, Nutuis Nisu Wishwanag, to Federation of Aboriginal Nations of the Americas, Wuni Mosquito Ka Akwani. Dave, family and friends, how are you doing? I'm Two Hawks, which is the English translation of Nisu Wishwanag, from the Federation of Aboriginal Nations of the Americas. Good medicine and peace be unto you all. For those who may not be aware, the Federation of Aboriginal Nations of the Americas is a confederation of pre-colonial, quote-unquote, American Indian tribes and nations that are ancestral inhabitants to the lands contemporarily referred to as the Americas, primarily along the eastern seaboard and into what is presently known as the Caribbean. One of the primary requirements for being a fauna nation of the Federation is to be a first contact nation. So all of the fauna nations are nations that either have agreements or treaties with the English crown or with the Spanish crown. As those agreements kind of transitioned on in colonialism to the United States, we were kind of written out of history primarily because Article 6, Clause 1 of the United States Constitution requires that all agreements made before the Constitution are as valid against the Constitution as they were against the Confederacy. So the strategy was simply to write us out of existence or to relabel us as something other than who we are, which are quote unquote American Indians. So in that regard, we've started FANA in 2015. We have a number of the FANA chiefs that are on the line right now. Chief First Spear, Chief Yanagusko, who gave greetings earlier, Chief Eagle Elk, Chief Fire River, and then Superior Chief Winds of Thunder. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge them. And then I serve in the capacity of Director General. So what you have here first is the mandate from my particular tribe, the Meshipag Nahigans and Chippewa, who are in the Rhode Island area, giving FANA the authority to act on our behalf in collaboration with the state of the African diaspora. Of course, next to that, the mandate from SOAD for FANA to do work on behalf of FANA. And we are very appreciative in our language. We say Katapatush for SOAD reaching out to us to provide support in this regard, because it's so important that our nations here in the quote unquote Americas reestablish and rebuild the very productive and positive relationships we had with our family over in the African continent prior to this thing called European colonization. Next slide, please. While we do have a number of artifacts and things of that nature that in future presentations we will want to highlight, we primarily wanted to focus on what is our biggest issue and our biggest need and interest at this time, and is rectifying the illegal dispossession of our ancestral lands, which are very beautiful. For anyone who has been on the east coast of the Americas or in the Caribbean, you know it's a very beautiful lands. So I just wanted to highlight a few of them before I turn the microphone back over. But this is a picture of Meshipag Pond, which is my particular people's ancestral lands. Very beautiful pond, still in the city of Providence, and as you see, they even kept our ancestral name for it. But at the same token are saying that we don't exist, or at least have been saying that. Once again, that has been their kind of strategy. Next slide, please. The next three are specific to our Sandhill Band of Lenape and Cherokee Indians, who are in the New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania area. So here you have Shark River Park, which is in Neptune, New Jersey. Next slide, please. This is Reevytown, which is in Eaton, New Jersey, and it's actually made it into a land dump, a landfill. So this is what they've taken and done to our very beautiful, very pristine lands. In many places, just totally ravaged them, so that they once again can keep alive this conversation that we no longer exist. And once again, this is Sandhill territory. And next slide, please. And then this is the Capelli Sports Complex, which is in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. You can see the sheer size of it. But once again, these are often where our villages were, where our burial grounds were, where our sacred sites were. And they just level them and put sports complexes, golf courses, things of that nature on them. Once again, to keep alive this notion that we no longer exist. And then the last slide that I'll present today, and of course there are many other at the next presentation, I'll present some other ones. This is from our Kiskiak family. This is the Yorktown Naval Weapons Station in Yorktown, Virginia. And as you can see, they just took it and put a naval base on it. And for Chief First Spear's people, pretty much ran them off of the lands and forced them to migrate to different areas. So FANA is very, very appreciative once again that our SOAD family is reaching across the pond, as they say, to connect with us, to provide resources and supports to us. And we do look forward in helping advance this class action, providing whatever resources and supports that we can provide to help move these efforts forward, and also being a beneficiary of the supports and resources that SOAD will provide. Katapatush Wuchia Chusata, thank you very much for listening to me, and I will yield the floor back to the Prime Minister.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you for that very informative presentation.